After the Kobayashi family gave up looking for Jiro, they began to enter the next stage, preparing to reform Kobayashi Pharmaceutical, and re-divide the cake of Kobayashi Pharmaceutical. Kobayashi Pharmaceutical was developed by Ichiro's father, Masao Kobayashi, in decades. Although many members of the Kobayashi family are involved, they do not directly own the shares of the company. After the death of Masao Kobayashi, Ichiro was labeled as a father killer, and Jiro naturally became the sole heir of industry. However, now Jiro is also missing. According to Japanese law, if Jiro's whereabouts remain unknown within a certain period of time, it can be determined from the legal level that the person is dead and his relatives have the right to inherit all his property. In that way, all the shares of Kobayashi Pharmaceutical will become a Chinese meal for the collateral relatives of the Kobayashi family. Ichiro's pro-uncle, Masayoshi Kobayashi, has now temporarily succeeded as the acting chairman of Kobayashi Pharmaceutical Company, Limited, and exercises management power instead of Jiro. Ito Takehiko, who has been coveting Kobayashi Pharmaceutical's shares, immediately focused his attention on Kobayashi Masayoshi. At this time, he called Masayoshi Kobayashi directly, and as soon as he came up he said, "Mr. Kobayashi, congratulations on your seat as the acting president." Kobayashi Masayoshi respectfully said, "Mr. Ito, thank you for your kind wishes. My acting chairmanship is only a temporary act. When my nephew Jiro returns, I will still give him this position." Ito Takehiko sneered and said, "I guess Jiro will not be back. You, the acting president, will soon become the official president." Masayoshi Kobayashi was secretly happy in his heart, but still said very honestly, "Mr. Ito, to tell you, I still think about it day and night. I hope Jiro can return safely." Ito Takehiko smiled and said, "Mr. Kobayashi, I am calling, not to be polite to you, but to have a business to cooperate with you." Masayoshi Kobayashi hurriedly said, "Mr. Ito, please speak." Ito said in a serious tone, "I have always been very optimistic about Kobayashi Pharmaceutical's prospects. You should know this." "Yes." Kobayashi Masayoshi respectfully said, "I've heard about this a long time ago. Thank you for your interest in Kobayashi Pharmaceutical." Ito Takehiko said again, I have always wanted to buy a stake in Kobayashi Pharmaceuticals. I have had a deep conversation with Jiro before, but it is a pity that he suddenly evaporated, so I can only come and continue this matter with you now." Masayoshi Kobayashi hurriedly said, "This is okay, but don't know how you want to advance, Mr. Ito?" Ito Takehiko said, "I want to make a deal with your company and make 2 deals with you personally." Kobayashi Masayoshi said, "Please speak." Ito Takehiko said, "The transaction with Kobayashi Pharmaceutical is an agreement that I intend to take a 30% stake at a valuation of $15 billion United States dollars." Kobayashi Masayoshi said embarrassingly, "Mr. Ito, the current value of Kobayashi Pharmaceutical is probably more than $20 billion United States dollars, and your price is $15 billion United States dollars, which is really a bit less." Ito Takehiko said lightly, "Don't worry, I will discuss 2 deals with you next." As he said, Ito Takehiko said again, "The first one, as long as you can make me buy Kobayashi Pharmaceutical at a valuation of $15 billion United States dollars, then I will privately give you $200 million United States dollars in cash. The second pen, as long as you help me make this happen, I will not only give you $200 million United States dollars in cash, but also consolidate your position in Kobayashi Pharmaceutical. I can assure you at that time whether Jiro will come back or not. You can sit firmly as the chairman of Kobayashi Pharmaceutical Company, Limited." Although the Ito family is the top family in Japan, it does not mean that Ito is a generous person. He has always wanted to buy shares in Kobayashi's, to make a fortune with its medicine line, and he has always wanted to keep the price of shares as low as possible. If it is a valuation of more than $20 billion United States dollars, if he wants to invest 30% of the shares, he has to pay at least $6 to $7 billion USD in cash. However, if the valuation can be reduced to $15 billion United States dollars, which is also a 30% shareholding, it will only need to pay $4.5 billion United States dollars, which can save more than $1 or $2 billion USD. When Kobayashi Masayoshi heard this, the first thought in his mind was that he didn't want to make such a big hole for Ito. After all, this was a price difference of more than $2 billion USD, and the amount was huge. However, when he thought that he could return cash to him privately and ensure that he would sit firmly as the president without any interference, he was vaguely moved. After thinking about it, he opened his mouth and said, "Mr. Ito, since you have said so well, then I will not hide it with you. If you can privately return me 500 million USD, then you can ensure that I sit firmly in the chairmanship. Then when I have a meeting, I will try my best to promote the Ito family's stake in Kobayashi Pharmaceutical."